The exclusive interview of Arise News with the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, is still generating reactions across the country. Following a tweet by Atiku on the collapsed national grid, the presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, AAC, Omoyele Sowore, took a swipe on Atiku, saying the former vice president was part of the power crisis facing the nation. But in the exclusive interview, Atiku said Sowore does not understand what the issues are in the power sector.
He has all along lived outside this country. He doesn't even know the policy implementation or even the policy initiative. We started to, when we came in, the total generation was about 4,000 megawatts. We initiated the building of 9 additional power stations. 9. And by the time those 9 were finished, the capacity has gone up from 4 to about 13,000 megawatts. Unfortunately, no correspondent increase as far as the transmission lines are concerned. There is no way when your transmission lines cannot evacuate the power you are producing that they will not collapse. So they keep on collapsing. And these additional 9 power stations were completed by Jonathan Umaru, who was on it. He died, and Jonathan continued, and he completed them. So that's why any time there is an increase in the power generation, and then you have a transmission system that cannot evacuate the power, there will be a collapse. So he doesn't even know, because he lives outside this country. He comes every 4 years and contests for the presidency and goes back. He fails and goes back again. So what does Sowore know about this country? Nothing, absolutely nothing.
All right, we have in the studios the presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, AAC, Omoyele Sowore, to look at the issues raised by the PDP presidential candidate in that exclusive interview Arise News had with him. Very warm welcome, Sowore.
Thank you.
You're a diaspora now, you'll come in once in 4 years, and you don't seem to be abreast with the issues of power, particularly when the former vice president was in government for 8 years, 1999 to 2007. How do you react to this?
2003.
When he was
2000, yeah.
He mixed up a number of things, and I think it is because he's losing memory. Otherwise, he would have known that I've never, at any point in time in my life, left issues concerning Nigeria. In fact, for him and others, I was a source of news while they were in office. Happenings in the government. In fact, when Garba Shehu used to work with him as an essay, he used to send me documents from their side. I'm revealing it for the first time, so as to counter Obasanjo in those days that they were at each other's neck. And he also said that they increased electricity during their period from 4,000 megawatts to 13,000 megawatts. That is not true. The highest Nigeria ever had is 13,000 megawatts, and that was done over the period of 16 to now 20 years that they've been in power. During their period, the highest was 7,500 megawatts, and the available megawatts for the public was 3,000. When Umaru Yar'Adua came, he pushed it to about 9,500 megawatts before he died. He's right that some other developments happened, and Jonathan completed their project, and they went to 12,000 megawatts. And Buhari, in his 7 years, only added 1,000 megawatts. But all along these periods, Nigeria only had available 5,500 megawatts. Till today, it has now collapsed to about 2,500 megawatts. So who builds and generates electricity without corresponding distribution or transmission? That is where they get it wrong. So you can't be telling me that, oh, we just built all this electricity, but we don't have, transmission lines to evacuate them. Does that make sense? This is why I said these guys have no business in government. It is time for them to quit, to retire. and even face consequences of the darkness they brought into this country. But my question to him, which you did not answer, was that you guys spent $16 billion to generate and procure darkness for Nigerians. He couldn't answer that. He then started talking about the fact that I come to contest every 4 years and go back. My first time contesting in Nigeria was in 2019. I've not left since then. I have not left. I've been here since that time. But he has left each time he contested. This is going to be his 7th time contesting. I started contesting in 1992 as a student union president. Atiku also contested during the SDP primaries against Abiola in 1992-1993 transition period. He lost. I won as a student union president. When the system collapsed, it was us that took over and made sure that we fought for that mandate. Atiku ran away. I don't know where he was between year 1993 and 1999, but he never left Nigeria. Each time he contests election, he leaves. One time, if his memory will serve him right, I met him at his mansion in Potomac near Washington, D.C. It turns out that it was a place they were using for money laundering. When he was discovered, they ran away with his wife. He didn't go back to the U.S., he moved to the U.K. Then I heard he had an island in Italy.
Well, those are hefty allegations. We're not.
No, I'm not. They are not. They are this is election season. People.
Yeah.
No, it's not character assassination. This is election season. I'm a candidate. He's a candidate.
Absolutely.
He called Tinubu to come for an interview, 1-hour interview. I'm inviting all of them for a 1-hour interview. Obi, Atiku, and Tinubu. Let us test their records.
That window is going to open from
Absolutely.
September 28th.
When campaigning.
No. Campaigning is different from engagement.
Let's talk about the issues here. At the end of the day, as it stands right now, Nigeria has spent over 11 trillion naira looking at getting electricity into the homes of the people. Yet, we are still in perpetual darkness. This year alone, over half a dozen times the national grid has collapsed. So let's say, for instance, you get elected as president. How would you handle this situation differently from what is obtainable at the moment?
Before I answer that, between 2010 and 2022, the national grid has collapsed 209 times. So it was why I was upset when he was talking about collapse. In 2020, you guys have been collapsing the national grid since you have been in power in 1999 till now. So to my own solution, you see, I have done my homework to discover that when you spend $70 million, you are capable of erecting over 2,000 kilometers
of transmission.
And that's the amount of money we are going to spend to repair the National Assembly. So if you spend $16 billion, you are capable of providing transmission all over West Africa. So generating electricity now requires a lot of technological understanding of how the world works. It has to be an energy mix. So we can easily, in the next 4 years that we will be in power, starting from 2023, add additional 16 to 20,000 megawatts of electricity through gas-fired. Most of these gas-fired plants that they built don't have supplies. I have records here showing that Egbe has the capacity to generate 1,100 megawatts of electricity. It's doing 606. Sapele has the capability to generate 1,080 megawatts of electricity. It's doing less than 200. So when you fire all those plants, you get additional megawatts. It will make it up to 13,000. When we do solar, which is now one of the most popular, and it's talking about also energy transition, because we can't continue to rely on these old methods.
Solar isn't going to work for, the manufacturers and the rest.
No, it's the same source. It will work
to power their heavy equipment.
It will work for everybody.
I think what is needed here, what Nigerians want to know, is that we have all the generating plants, particularly the gas-powered ones, apart from Egme and the Sapele of Goro.
They are all privately owned. The government only handles transmission.
No, it's not all of them that are privately owned.
It's the issue of gas here I want you to, address. How are you going to when there is no gas, there can't be
There
any
is
power.
gas. The problem is that they built power plants because of corruption. They didn't build gas pipelines that would
This
take
government
gas.
is building the KKK.
Well, has it helped anybody?
It's
Why are we at
it's going
2,000?
up.
Why are we at 2,200
That is the
megawatts of
question
electricity?
we're asking you.
So
You
that,
can change
but
that
because
if
you
you
took
get
the
an
argument from me,
opportunity.
you took the argument. I'm telling you that they have not done the right things, and these guys have no idea how to get it right. And I was trying to tell you, you're telling me that solar cannot power industries. Of course, it can power industries. It's the same type of electricity. There's no difference between the electricity generated through hydro, gas, or solar. It's just a matter of assembling and putting solar farms in all the. They are doing it in Morocco. Morocco is selling power, not only to Moroccans, but they're selling to Malta and part of France. And they come from this energy mix we're talking about: gas, solar. There's coal in Enugu. There is now clean coal technology that can help us generate electricity in Enugu for a huge amount of land space, like probably the whole of the southeastern part of Nigeria. And if you now provide gas, not only through the pipelines, in the meantime, by the way, there are other means of transporting gas to these facilities that can be done, but it requires security. Don't let anybody lie to you about that.
Which is another major
exactly.
issue.
So you are not going to be, you cannot line up trucks of gas to Omotosho or anywhere when or Geregu, everywhere that they have gas plants now, without security. Otherwise, kidnappers, bandits will just take over this project.
Over 1,700 people in the first quarter of 2022 lost their lives due to insecurity.
If you add up to nights, in
still a major issue. No country can progress without security.
That's right.
What do you think this administration is not doing right that you will correct if given an opportunity to?
If they say it, they'll find you. We don't have a commander-in-chief of the armed forces.
No, you don't say that, because
I'm telling
constitutionally we have one.
We have it constitutionally,
democratically we have
but
one.
we don't have
so
it on the field.
You wouldn't say that, yeah.
We don't have people who can command the respect of our armed forces, who have the understanding of how the armed forces should be curtailing the security challenge.
That's
a
former general. Are you indicting the military with the yeoman's job they've been doing?
Of course, I am. You are asking me what I want to do. I am not supposed to come here and lie to the Nigerian public that we have a military leadership that is capable of waging war against insecurity. That is the truth. And I've been a media person like most of you. I've covered these things, we've exposed all these things, but people ignore them. Now, we are all faced with the failure of a military we've been exposing over the years.
What should they be doing, very quickly?
Well,
what should they be doing?
When I was here last time, I told you that short term, immediately, what needs to be done. And that is to continue to change the leadership of the military units in the country until we get it right. Right? That's part of the short term. Part of the short term also is to look at how we can bring in collaboration. At this point, this is beyond us. If I have my way, the first thing I'll do is bring in collaboration. If it means that you bring in mercenaries, I will bring it in so as to stem the tide of the movement of these groups that are threatening the entire country.
Omoyele Sowore, the presidential candidate of the that's African Action Congress. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on the program.